Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Game. We got week 3 coming up in the Arena Football League here for Dominic Moore and the Southwest Kansas Storm as they are taking on the Denver Colorado Spartans, 1-2, and I believe I saw Paxton Lynch is their quarterback.
Yeah.
Is he that right? Former Bronco.
Yeah, he's unfortunately hurt though. So
Ah. Storm just beat the Omaha Beef 34-26. You're predicting a high-scoring game, and it was probably a little lower than you thought that was going to happen. But we secured the dub, so we're 2-0. Yep, 2-0, tied for the top spot. And, we're looking good. So, Dom, run us through the game, how that went with the Omaha Beef.
man, first and foremost, massive, kudos to Omaha, man. They, given, and I don't want to put too much out there, but given, what they've been through so far this season, played a hell of a game. They played a hell of a game. They seemed poised. Given what they've been through, they seemed like they, play for a while. And I mean, like it was a battle. It was a battle. We expected that. Like I said, some people thought, Omaha, with everything they're going through, we're going to fold and be a team that we're just going to, not, perform how Omaha performs. And I'm like, it's still the Omaha Beef. You know what I'm saying? They're still top arena teams ever. So they came out there and proved that. And, obviously we fought the fight that they gave us and ended up, having more points than them. On a personal level, I feel like I definitely could have had a better game. And that's just because I hold myself, to such a
high standard.
There were a couple, MAs, missed assignments that I'm like, we would have just, if I would have just took this step differently, it would have been a different outcome. But, this is, that's why we go back to the drawing board. Like you said, shout out to Omaha, put up a good fight. But, we're on to the next now. So we got Colorado.
We got Colorado at home for you guys this Saturday. What are we looking for that game? And is Paxton Lynch been hurt all year? Did he just get hurt?
Just got hurt.
He just got hurt. Okay, so the game plan's definitely changed.
Yep. So they played Salina, and yeah, man, it was just an ugly, gruesome injury. So yeah, like I said, I was definitely looking forward to that. But this is where we go back to the drawing board and pivot for whoever we got to face. So, that's pretty much what we've been doing all week. Just getting a perfect game plan ready, to face them. And like I said, we're not really changing anything up. We're just bettering what we already do. So. And that comes with, just doing the little things correctly, going back to the details, going back to the fundamentals of where, what got us to 2-0. So we're home those and, looking to obviously go 3-0 against a pretty solid Colorado team. Like I said, it's gonna be another good game. This one, I'm definitely expecting it to be high scoring.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Our defense has been pretty sick this week, man. So they've been showing some new things and, yeah, we'll see, man. It's just, we're gonna see. Yeah.
What's the snap count gonna look like for you this week on the offense and defensive side?
That I do not know.
Where was it this past week?
It was 50-50.
50-50, okay.
Yeah, 50-50. Obviously, because this was my first legitimate week here.
Yeah.
The rest of the team has been here for about a month now. So me and the starter, we've kind of been splitting the reps. So I don't know, man. We kind of figure that out on game day. So yeah, and throughout practice, it doesn't matter who starts. I start, he starts. It doesn't matter. We figure it out, and then game day, that's when we're actually like, all right, what are we gonna do? So snap count, I don't know. Like I said, we'll see, and we're just gonna go from there.
Nice. What are you most looking forward to this week?
This week, I would just say improving off of last week. Like I said, man, there were, and again, man, I'm so critical on myself. Like even something that somebody sees so small, I have to be like, how did I mess that up? And Some of my teammates were like, "Yo, I mean, it's not that big. You don't worry about it." And I'm like, "Yeah, it actually is that big because like people don't watch film how I watch film."
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it may not be that big to you, but to me it actually is. And then whenever I get you to understand, that's when it's like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying now, right? So it's just to bounce back off of, the small mistakes last week. And then, obviously just, I would definitely say just being a little bit more aggressive. Because like I said, I was out there, like I said, when I didn't have the game under my belt that they had.
Sure.
So like it was like, all right, I was still getting back into the motions of actually playing game speed against a different opponent, not our defense. So, getting back into, the game speed, which I'm not gonna lie, throughout this week I've been feeling pretty good. So, yeah, we'll, like I said, the overall gist is to improve from last week and to bounce back and to make those plays that matter so that, the team does better as well.
Mm-hmm. Then how have things been going on for you this week? Now you're, going to be your second game here, getting reacclimated and getting in the swing of football.
It's been great. It's been great so far, man. Like you said, I've had a little bit more time to get into the playbook and understand that, I would say I was, catch up a little bit more within the playbook. And obviously, it's been definitely helpful actually doing everything on air, doing everything with bodies, because that's how I learned. I learned by doing.
Yeah.
So obviously, I'll see the playbook, okay, and then they call it while I'm actually in it. I'm like, all right, I remember this. All right, so now I can run whatever I need to run. Actually on the body, and yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie, this week has definitely been pretty good. My body feels okay. I'm still getting back, ready for this upcoming game. Obviously from the bumps and bruises from last game, but that comes and goes with this game. So, yeah, I'm feeling okay. Definitely gonna be 100% come Saturday. So, yeah, that's how I'm feeling.
And for some of those that don't know, what are some of the college experiences? Like, what some of the guys, like, we got some Paxton Lynch, obviously former NFL player. Where are some of these guys maybe on your team or some of the guys in the league that like maybe that have played in the league or were big-time college players? Like, give us give us an outlook of the talent here.
Man, we're stacked with talent from literally all over, bro, all over. We got a guy from Mexico. We got a couple guys from Canada. We got guys that played at Kansas State. We got guys that played at Kansas. We got guys that played, I think, actually in Big 12 championships.
That's cool.
But yeah, man, we got guys from all over, like literally all over. So, and getting to know each and every one of these guys, it's definitely been pretty cool. Just learning, some of the backgrounds, learning some of the, how learning about their upbringing as well. How they do things where they're from and stuff like that. So it's definitely been pretty cool. As far as the league, there are guys from everywhere in the league, man. Deion Sanders has a saying: if you ball, you get the call. Right? Some of these guys are actually actual pros, right? And they're just looking to get back to that next level. Right? They're gonna ball, however, they're gonna ball down here till they get that call again, right? And yeah, so that I'm not gonna. That's I feel like that's kind of what puts our arena league up there a little bit because we got guys that are hungry for that, right? So they're gonna do whatever they can to make sure that this league is being played as perfect as it is, well as it is, so that they can get to that next level and also pave the way for everybody else that is going to want to play in this league, right? Because the better we play, the more recognition this league gets, right? So it's like that's kind of how it is. And like I said, the talent is definitely definitely insane, right? Like last week, playing against Omaha, one of their defensive ends was actually a tight end in the NFL.
Oh,
right, just converted, and like I said, he played pretty well. So yeah, like I said, you're gonna have your talent. It's professional football, so and it's not people think, oh, it's arena semi-pro. Like, no, we're still getting professional contracts.
Yeah.
Right, we have salaries, right? So yeah, man, it's talent all around. So
that's cool. What's your score prediction going to be this week? What do we got here?
Southwest Kansas, somewhere in the 50s.
In the 50s, all right.
Colorado, somewhere in the 20s.
Colorado, somewhere in the 20s. All right. Predicting somewhat of a blowout there. I like it.
Sort of a blowout, man. But like I said, it's going to be a great game. And that's just me having the utmost 56% confidence in our defense.
Mm-hmm.
They were able, to keep a pretty good Omaha team to 26 points.
Yeah, in the 20s. Mm-hmm. 26
points in arena football. That's like you're supposed to have 26 points, right?
Yeah.
But to be to be held to 26 points in a game is pretty insane, right? So yeah, this is going to be a game where I think, like I said, this week our defense has cleaned up what they needed to clean up, and now they look sharp, right? So I have the utmost confidence in my defense that they're going to hold Colorado to 20 points. And then offense, we're going to bounce off of that and put as many points up as we can, and obviously walk out with the dub. So.
That's awesome. Let's go. Everyone can download the NAL app and watch Dom here and anyone else in the Arena Football League. I've been doing that, so that's exciting.
And we also stream on Ion TV, so if anybody has Ion, some games will be nationally televised on Ion.
That's cool. Everyone's got to tune in there. Get your Arena Football news and coverage here on Beyond the Game. And also during the NFL season, we'll be back. We'll be talking NFL ball, doing our weekly stuff, picks with the pro. Now we got NAL picks with the pro, so that's cool. We'll start doing that weekly too. I'll run through the whole schedule and give some predictions there. That'll be cool.
The weather weekly games, that'll be